Well, it's happened. Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're all doing well today, and of course you are, because Chelsea are the champions of Europe, and we are going to feel elated, delighted, and excited and joyful for the entire season beyond, because until that next Champions League final, Thomas Tuchel's tricky Blues, provided he's still in charge by the end of the season, are going to be champions of Europe. Nothing can take that away. 2 times European Cup winner. Chelsea are an elite super... Sorry, I don't know why I've gone off in this tangent, but I'm going to start the video like this. Chelsea are an elite super club. They've won league titles, Europa League titles, domestic cups, and a Champions League. But now Chelsea have won multiple European Cups. Multiple. They are in the top echelons of this elite super European club now. Don't even know if I said that right. Anyway, this isn't a Chelsea news video as such, although I'm going to be citing and talking about what journalist Fabrizio Romano has said. I'm not going to be going through an article and walking you through it. I'm just going to be talking about what he said about Fikayo Tomori and the players that are out the door in the summer, plus other potentialities. And ultimately, it's very sad about Tomori, but Chelsea have the opportunity here to generate a lot of funds on top of all whatever they had already in the transfer kitty, on top of the finances from winning the Champions League as well. There's a lot of money there. Oh yeah, do subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy, if you want daily content. We're on the cusp of 120,000 subscribers. You can be the difference. And also do go check out my sister channel, Football Yannick, because you might dig it. Daily football content, of course, and I'm going to be covering the Euros on there, so you want to make sure you're subscribed. All right then, let's take a deep breath in and move into today's video. Now, many of us knew it was coming. That's right, we felt it. I feel it coming. All that. Fikayo Tomori to AC Milan on a permanent. And to be honest, a few of us thought, well, you know what? Tuchel does give academy boys a chance. He will be looking at his options, and he'll look at Tomori, who's performed incredibly well for Milan this season and is a superb player. But the truth is, Thomas Tuchel, if you said to him, look, we'll sell him for this much, it goes into the transfer kitty and adds to this amount that you already had to buy an elite super centre-half that you want, and now you can buy an even better one, or we can more likely get the player because it's a bigger bid. So it kind of makes sense, and ultimately, you have to look at this from the defender's perspective. Fikayo Tomori, yes, Chelsea have just won the Champions League, and all his mates were lifting big ears, and that must have hurt Tomori because he was part of the feel-good, revolution at Chelsea. The academy boys, Reece James, Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Tomori, all these Frank Lampard feel-good characters. And he was like, people really rated Tomori. So it was sad, but ultimately things are working out. Chelsea are going in the direction with Thomas Tuchel. He will want his own profile of players. Fikayo Tomori didn't go on a loan to whatever, a West Brom, or go to an Aston Villa and be a bench player. He went to AC Milan, a European super club, a giant, a giant of the game historically at least. And he's helped them ascend back up the table, and they finished second in Serie A. They finished above Juventus. Incredible. He's going to play in the Champions League, and he's a cult hero over in Milan. And he's learning Italian. He was really excited to learn Italian as soon as he got there, and he was feeling good. And he's such a young, studious, intelligent, good personality. And that's why it hurts Chelsea fans, because you're losing like a wonderful young man, not just on the football pitch, but off it. I think he was doing like a business degree as well, and he's speaking Italian out there. And it's just, he's living his story, and you can't begrudge him that. And Chelsea are losing a great player and a great young man, but at the same time, he's not doing it in a sort of crappy move. He's going to do something really exciting and good for him. And in return, his club Chelsea, that he's been at since he was a tiny little kid, they're getting a decent fee for him. So let's read the Fabrizio Romano tweets that put the sort of nail in this coffin. Chelsea will receive 28 million euros from AC Milan for Fikayo Tomori. The agreement will be completed as soon as expected. Tomori will leave Chelsea Football Club to stay at Milan, and he's signing a 5-year contract. Emerson, Bakayoko and Zappacosta will all leave the club this summer. Cool, so I'm going to talk about those players in just a moment, but let's sort of talk about Tomori a little bit more. Chelsea are going to get, like, what is it, around like £24 million or something? That's a lot of money for an academy product. Chelsea will look at that in terms of a business and be like, wow, bang, you know, we can add that to this fund. It's already big transfer kitty that we've got. That's a lot of money for them. Similarly, you know, they'll look at the likes of Tammy Abraham, and because he's a proven Premier League goal scorer, you know, he's been called up for England and scored for England and stuff, that, you know, the price rumoured for Tammy Abraham is £40 million. And the fact how Thomas Tuchel does not fancy him whatsoever, you bet Chelsea would sell him, whether it's for the full 40 million or anything above 30 million for another academy product. You know, strikers are generally more expensive than centre-halves, you know, that perform, whatever. So this is all free money for Chelsea in many ways. And, you know, they're building relationships with buying clubs and all that kind of business, boring stuff. But it's sad, man. It's sad because of the story, because you're losing such a great character and player. But Chelsea fans will watch Fikayo Tomori playing for AC Milan and know that he's connected and bonded with Chelsea Football Club, and they'll enjoy his progress and his story. And for the meantime, you've got to look back and, you know, look within to Cobham, to Chelsea. What's happening at Thomas Tuchel? Well, we've lifted our second European Cup. We've still got plenty of feel-good stories regarding the academy, like Mason Mount Player of the Season holding up the Champions League trophy, Reece James masterclass, you know, Hudson-Odoi will still have something to say in this Chelsea squad, and, you know, Billy Gilmour absolutely too, probably, even if he has to go out on one season loan. So, you know, he's an excellent player that Chelsea aren't interested in selling. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. We've still got Gallagher, Gurhey, you know, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Walker to look in. Yeah, and it's amazing. So feel good, ultimately. Feel good. It's sort of thank Tomori for his service. And yeah, let's generate some funds and move on. So let's talk about quickly those other players that he's mentioned in the tweet. First off, Tammy Bakayoko, he'll leave this summer. I think he's got like, what, 12 months left on his deal? Yeah, he's got 12 months left on his deal, so Chelsea will just get rid of him because he's not going to sign an extension. He'll back himself to rebuild his career somewhere, and Chelsea will get a small fee for Tammy Bakayoko. I know when we signed him, he was meant to be like our Yaya Toure in Conte's second season, but things weren't meant to be. I'm not going to get into the history of Bakayoko right now. And no, I'm no longer going to sing the song. Maybe when it's official, you might get the song one more time, and most of you hate it anyway. But yeah, that's it for Bakayoko. Let's move on to the next player. And that is Zappacosta. Like Danny Drinkwater, I think Zappacosta's first game, he scored an absolute accidental wonder goal. That was a cross that just went in, and Willian went up ramp to him laughing. I say Danny Drinkwater because Danny Drinkwater earlier in his Chelsea career actually scored an absolute wonder goal, not a misplaced cross. He hit a ball with his laces and literally looped in. One of the better goals I've seen from Danny Drinkwater, which I still to this day think is absolutely hilarious. But Zappacosta sort of played a bit. The thing is with Zappacosta, I haven't got any beef with him because he was never really that good. He was like a so-so player that was bought in to appease Antonio Conte when he wanted other people. But he got Zappacosta, he filled in, played his part. I think he played, I remember a goal line clearance in, was it the Europa League final or semi-final under Sarri? So, you know, had his part, played his part in the story, but absolutely, you know, flog him, try and make a few quid in him, you won't get much either. Now, Emerson Palmieri is an interesting one that Fabrizio Romano said Emerson will leave the club. Fair enough, Alonso will stay as a rotational left wing back, you'd imagine, but Emerson almost seems like not more valuable, because he's not more valuable to Thomas Tuchel, but he played left centre back like a couple of times, and he played left wing a couple of times. Two very different positions that require a lot of trust from Thomas Tuchel, so it's interesting. I thought maybe he'd want to keep him and sell Alonso, maybe because of his age. I don't know, maybe not, because Alonso scored a lot of goals for Tuchel. But, you know, it's an interesting one with Emerson, because he was being utilised, and Thomas Tuchel was coming out a lot, praising him about training. He's like, this guy's training really well, and not when people were talking about him, he'd bring him up and say, Emerson's training really well, he's got a great attitude, and, you know, he's good when I put him on. So that's kind of interesting, and Emerson's obviously part of the team spirit, holding up the trophy, having the party with everyone, really well integrated, but that, you know, collective team spirit's there to see with all the players. But I don't know why I was shocked with Emerson, but who knows. All those players, you think Emerson might make a few quid just because of his profile. I think he might actually still start for Italy, which is insane. So Emerson will make a few quid. You add all those players to Ross Barkley, maybe 30 million, maybe 25, 30 million. And then Tammy Abraham, maybe 35, 40 million. Chelsea are suddenly making like 120, 150 million in sales before like the extra 150 million transfer budget from Roman, before like, you know, the Champions League winner money. It's incredible amounts of money that Chelsea will have. Anyway, I wanted to react to that news, talk about potential outgoings. This is obviously stories we all follow throughout the summer here in Football Therapy, so make sure you're subbed and I'll keep you posted on all the transfer business. It's a very exciting time, so keep it locked, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notifications icon. In the meantime, go check out Football Yannick, link in the description. Enjoy the football and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.